Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome one and all to yet another episode. This is Alex, and I'm here with my father, Franco.
Yep, yeah.
And this is the Feliz Energy Podcast. Thank you for that applause.
Thank you for that warm welcome. Well, today we're going to talk about the importance of faith, right? How important is faith? What is faith? Most of us have an idea of what faith is, but we're going to break it down for you because I think it's very important that we have a very good idea of what faith can do for you in your life. And we're going to talk about different examples, stories that we can share with you today in order for you to get a good grasp of what faith is.
Absolutely.
And faith is the preview of life's coming attraction.
Steve Harvey nailed it.
He did.
Nailed it with that quote.
He did. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for, as well as the conviction of things not seen.
Taken from Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1.
Unbelievable. You know, we live on faith each and every day, but a lot of us doubt a lot of times when things don't come to fruition for us. Sometimes it takes time, it takes work, but knowing and persevering is faith. Believing is faith. Knowing that things are going to come is faith. No matter what you do, how much you work, what trials and tribulations you go through, your faith is what's going to keep you grounded and going to keep you working hard.
Knowing that you will arrive at your destination no matter what obstacles, no matter what challenges come your way. And that keyword conviction has everything to do with that.
Oh, no doubt about that. There is no doubt. I agree 200% on what you just said. And I think about so many stories that I can go over with you, Alex, but the one that comes to mind is this one. I remember, I think it was maybe a year and a half ago, my mother goes to Dominican Republic, and every time she goes, she would leave me her car. Beautiful car, a Mercedes-Benz, which I love to drive, and she leaves it so I can take care of it while she's gone. At that moment, I was looking for a car because I had just sold mine. I had a Chevy Avalanche that I loved, but I had to get rid of it. So I'm looking for a car, and I said I have a whole month to look for a car. So I'm taking my time, I'm doing research, and I'm doing different things. Keep in mind that my mother's in the Dominican Republic, and every time she talks to my cousin, she mentions this specific car, thinking that I'm the one that's talked to her about that car. All the while is my brother who's mentioning this car each and every time to her. So I'm here on this side of the world and just looking for a car, looking for something, and I'm test driving BMWs, Mercedes-Benz, Cadillacs, name it. I'm driving pretty much every luxury car known to man. And nothing is satisfying. Beautiful cars, but there's something about each car that's just not fulfilling me. So maybe 3 weeks into the process, I go to my friend Greg's barbershop, and he sees me like down and out. He's like, man, what's wrong? And I'm like, man, I can't find a car that I really like. And he says to me, what? Are you kidding me? Seriously, Franco? Like, you can't find a car? Like, really? And I'm like, nah, man, I just can't. And my mother gets here in like maybe 10 days. And I cannot keep her car. She needs her car. And he looks at me and he says, have you thought about getting a Tesla? I'm like, no. There's no. Who thinks about getting a Tesla? You know what I mean? Unless you have, balling or whatever you may want to call it. And he says to me, no, they're making it more affordable now. Obviously, they're not just for anybody, but I think that you can afford one. And we look at the time, and it's around like 7:15 at night. And the Tesla dealership, well, it's not a dealership, it's more like a showroom that they had at the Atlantic Square here in Atlanta. And I look at the time, and he's like, I think they close at 8 o'clock. So we Google it. Exactly, they close at 8, and I just take off. I'm like, you know what? It was like a light bulb moment. So I go into the showroom. I look around. The guy sees me. He explains the process, and I'm in love with the car. He tells me the price, what I want, what I need, how I want to build it. I mean, it's like a toy store. It was one of the probably best experiences of my life. To make the long story short, 7 days later, I get my car and I'm just elated. I mean, I'm over the top. I can't wait to show you the car, Alex.
I remember.
You remember that?
First time I saw it.
I couldn't wait to show all of you my car, especially my kids. So I go and pick my mother up at the airport and I'm just happy. I mean, my car is beautiful. And she says to me, "Oh, you got it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got it." And she's like, "Oh my God, it's so beautiful." She gets in the car and she's looking all around and she just at awe of the car, right? A few weeks later, she says to me, "Yeah, you kept telling me about the car and you finally got it." And I go, "Well, no, Mom, I never spoke about having a Tesla in my life to you." And at that moment, she says to me, "Oh yeah, that's right. It was Otis, your brother, who kept mentioning that car every time he saw it. That's the car he wanted." But what was happening, Alex, was the following. While she was in Dominican Republic, hanging out with my cousin Junior, she would say to him, "That is the car that Frank wants." Every time, maybe once a week or twice a week, she would say that to him. I say that because she spoke it into existence for me. So she transmitted that energy to my friend Greg, which in turn tells me about it. And here I am today, a year and a half later, with my Tesla. I say this story because that's what faith is. Faith is that, knowing that the right people are behind you, backing you up, something we talked about in our last couple of podcasts, relationship currency, people that believe in you, that know what you want, what you're about, and they feel what you feel. And even though I had no idea that I was going to drive that car, it came into existence for me. And I remember when I was like 10 years old, I remember me saying, "I'm going to have a car one day that will drive by itself. I'm going to have a car one day that I can turn on." And I'm not going to say from a phone, because back in the day that didn't exist. You knew that a remote control could probably turn on your car, but never anything like what it is today from an app.
Right.
You had no idea that even existed, that would exist, right? So I talk about that because faith is so powerful. You know, faith is just, I mean, there's nothing that I can say that I can describe the strength and the conviction that comes with that. You know, again, faith is the preview of life's coming attraction. That is so powerful.
Yes.
You know,
that it is.
And when you talk about that, and you talk about different things, and you believe in it consistently, and you know that it's going to happen, and no matter how many times you fall, you get back up again, because you know, when you believe within you, within your world, it's something that you see, because nobody sees your vision. Only you see your vision. And people may think you're crazy, like, seriously, but guess what? That's not their vision. They don't believe in it because they don't see it.
Those are the doors that God has opened for you.
There's no doubt about that.
And no one can get in the way of those doors. And it's incredible, because faith is an intrinsic element. It is a part of what makes us human beings.
Yeah.
And Ralph Waldo Emerson said this: "We are born believing. A man bears beliefs as a tree bears apples."
Wow.
We are born with the quality of faith.
Yes.
We are born with this quality. As kids, this is just an example. When I was a kid growing up, as someone that loves video games,
Right.
as someone that loves to play games, as a kid, I didn't have the money to buy the new PlayStation or the new Nintendo console. But what I did know at the time was what I needed to do in order to get the games that I wanted to play.
Okay.
My mom would let me know, "Hey, if you did well in school, if you got good grades, I'll get you this game."
Right.
And as a kid, I would work towards that because I wanted to play that game or get that console. And so whether I knew it or not, everything that I did was to manifest that reality in the future.
Right.
Having faith that if I got good grades, that if I did what I was supposed to, I would end up playing that game. And I would see previews for games that are coming out. And again, you as a kid don't have the money to buy those games, but you know what you need to do in order to achieve that goal.
Right.
And that quality, unfortunately, for many people, The quality of faith is a quality that is eroded because of all of the distractions, because of the design of society.
Right.
It strips us of this quality, believing in ourselves, having conviction of a future that can be.
Right.
Depending on who you are today. You are identifying yourself with a future situation or circumstance. And every single day you're working towards that.
Well, faith is nothing without work.
Exactly. Faith without works is dead. That's another principle from the Bible.
Right. That's right. You have to put in the work. If we talk about that in our, past podcast, it's impossible to put in the work and not get a result. It's impossible to go to the gym, eat correctly, and not see results. Even if they're minimal, you're going to see something. You're going to see change. And everything takes time. Everything. If you read the Bible stories, it takes men sometimes 20 years to achieve a certain goal. But guess what? They don't give up. They keep moving. They keep moving forward. And eventually, things will happen for them, especially about the time that they're about to give up.
Yes.
It's amazing how that happens.
Yes.
All right. But it takes 12 years for you to get a diploma. That's just the way it is. You cannot go to school and be in the kindergarten and then 3 weeks later get a diploma from high school. It's impossible. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work.
Right.
If you go to college, it takes you 4 years to get a degree, 6 years to get a bachelor or a doctorate, depending on what you want to get. But the work has to be put in.
Yes. And obstacles will come. Challenges will come. Distractions will come. But what gives you the positive attitude and the motivation to continue onwards is the faith that you will accomplish your goal, no matter what.
No doubt.
And that produces the sub-quality of determination. When you have faith, you are determined to achieve your goals. Nothing will stop you when you have faith.
Yes.
And it's demonstrated through determination, through perseverance.
I agree 200%. Not even 100. That's going to be my new thing. 200%.
Exactly. There you go. You can't get no better than that.
You can't get no better than that, right?
Right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is just a little bit of what we're going to talk about. We have many things and many subjects that we're going to bring up, but faith, we want you guys to remember that faith is one of the best qualities that any human can have. And faith is what without what? You said it earlier.
Faith without works is dead.
Is dead. Keep that in mind. Keep pushing forward. Don't stop. Keep your dreams alive by believing in yourself, by believing that things are going to come into fruition for you, that no matter what happens or what obstacles come your way, you're going to overcome them.
Absolutely. Do not identify yourself with where you are now. Do not be solely content and satisfied with that. Identify yourself with where you are going. Keep that in your mind always, and you will achieve that goal. You will arrive at your destination.
100%.
All right, Feliz family. We'll wrap it up for now. And until next time,
always remember, if you don't live to serve, then you don't deserve to live.